Hello and welcome back to Dukas Copy TV and to another Targets in Focus interview. Today we're focusing on the yen as Japan's government struggles to get rid of a vicious deflationary cycle. Joining me in the studio is head trader at Training Traders, Mike Baghdady. Mr. Baghdady, you think the yen is the trade of the decade. Why is this?
The Japanese situation today is excellent. Everything is lining up to, it's like the perfect storm. The Japanese government under Abe has decided, and we can debate together if it's right or wrong, is that to change the economy from being a deflationary economy with a target of a 2% inflation. In order to do that, they are required to do two things. One, to bring down the cost, to turn it into what's called negative saving or negative interest on savings so that people would dissave and start spending, thus creating demand. And at the same time, they're lowering the Japanese yen. Everybody in the government has announced that is the policy of the nation. So, similar to what happened with the Swiss National Bank several months ago when they decided to peg the euro to Swiss franc at 120, if you would look at the chart, I mean, it's one of the magnificent charts. It's one straight flat line for 7 months. And on both sides of the trade, on the short side is the hedge funds, and on the buy side is the Swiss National Bank. In a situation like this, when a government declares that as a policy, you do not want to fight the BOJ.
Now, how do you trade the yen at the moment, given the current state of Japan's economy?
We are shorting the yen. We have been short the yen as of November the 15th. One trade on the 7 pairs, Aussie yen, Swiss yen, CAD yen, Euro yen, from November the 15th. We're long the Euro yen from 104. It is now close to 127. So when I suggest to you that this is the trade of the decade, is if you look at the dollar-yen chart, it's perpendicular. Traders should not fear that this is too high, because there is nothing called too high in the market. So any pullback is a good buy.
Now, Japan's weak currency seems to be helping some of the country's electronics companies, such as Sony, for instance. This is a good thing in the short term for the economy, but what about the long term? Can it last?
Oh, yes, absolutely. This thing is going to go at least for a year. I mean, they have to achieve the target. I mean, this is a mandate of the new policy. They did not exceed the tenure of the governor of the Bank of Japan, simply because he was not in accordance with the policy. He was against trying to create an inflation. And his tenure is ending in April. So the Ministry of Finance, the Ministry of Economy, the Japanese are loving it. Sony is, look at the Nikkei. It's breaking up in the beginning of a bull market. The depreciation in the yen is appreciation in the Japanese stock market, like what's happening in the States. If the stock market goes up, then the Japanese, Mr. and Mrs. Watanabe, are they going to go down now and start buying investing stocks in Japanese stocks? They are going to go out of treasuries, if you will, and savings, because it's giving them a negative return, and they're putting that in the markets, whether it's stock market or other currencies.
Finally, as a trader yourself, Mr. Baghdady, what are your thoughts on trading the yen in the coming weeks and months?
We are shorting the yen. We're staying short the yen. I mean, there will be some fluctuations down the road, but we're looking for the dollar-yen to reach par. The magic number, a technical magic number, is 105.20 in the dollar-yen. So we're looking at least at 2,000 pips on average in the dollar-yen. We're looking at the euro-yen maybe to reach 137. These are not predictions. This is just measuring the impact of the printing machine in Japan vis-a-vis the other nations. So it only seems a reasonable target. You look at par, $105 yen, maybe the 137s or so, euro yen. Buy the pullbacks and stay with it.
The yen clearly causing a lot of talk amongst analysts at the moment. Well, that's it for now here on Dukas Copy TV. Tomorrow, of course, we've got the ECB's monthly report, so join me for that. But for now, goodbye.